Why does being a good person really matter to the church?
To be honest, I think I'm a good person.
How do you define living a good life?
Sometimes it's easy just to do the minimum. We can ask ourselves the question, what do I have to do to keep from failing this class? What do I have to do to keep from getting fired at my job? What do I have to do to be saved? When I did weddings on Saturdays, invariably somebody would come up after the Mass and say, Father, does this wedding count for Sunday? That's a minimalist approach. What do I have to do? It's easy to look at the 10 Commandments from that perspective because so many of them say, thou shalt not. So we can say, well, I didn't steal, I didn't kill, I must be a pretty good person. Jesus challenges us to flip that minimalist perspective into a maximalist perspective. To not ask the question, what do I have to do, Lord? Rather to ask the question, what can I do for you today, Lord? To do the maximum amount of good as we have been placed in this world, to live this life rich in gifts of the Spirit, rich in good works, rich in spiritual fruit. The virtues help us to embrace that life of the Spirit. And so faith, hope, and charity, justice, temperance, joy, all of those things help us to build up our spiritual muscles and to be strong in living the faith. The saints show us the way. We think of Francis of Assisi, who gave away all of his possessions and went to live with the lepers. We think of Elizabeth Ann Seton, the first American-born saint, gave up everything to become Catholic and dedicated herself to the education of children. Mother Teresa, who left the safety of her convent to work in the slums of Calcutta and began a worldwide movement of charity for the poorest of the poor. When we stop asking the question, what do I have to do? And then start asking, what can I do today for you, Lord? It opens up that whole life of virtue and the strength of the Holy Spirit. When we work out physically, we increase our capacity to lift weight and we live a healthier life. When we exercise the virtues, we increase our capacity to do good and to become the saints that God has called us to be. The 10 Commandments help us to stay on that path, but to maximize that path of holiness and of goodness, of love and of service.
It's the year of faith, and we're connecting Christ and the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Ignite your faith. Share this video with a friend and spark up a spirited conversation today. So what's the next C4 all about? We invite you to come back and see for yourself.